Welcome everyone. It is lovely to have you back here once again. Guys, it is time to get straight away into another episode of Brawl News, your favorite spot to get all the comings and goings in the Brawl community that you might not know about. We have a ton of very interesting things to talk about in today's video. One being a very first for our Brawl News is here, some information that actually took me by surprise. A new Brawl Stars game coming? We'll also be going over certain things that people found in the community that happened after this update that might be leading into something very important around the corner. As well as we'll be touching on when Season 4 of the Brawl Pass should be coming around the corner, just so you guys are all prepared for when that comes. So hope you guys are all pumped up. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go! So before we get into today's video, I gotta give a huge shout out to our video sponsors today. The very first one being the red subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Guys, we're sitting at 52.9% non-subscribed and 47.1% subscribed to the channel. We're actually getting very close to 300,000 subscribers, which is mind-boggling. So thank you all who are subscribed. Thank you all who aren't subscribed and watch my videos. I love you all very, very much. And the second sponsor is, of course, Code Ray in the Brawl Stars shop. Guys, the dance parties never stop. Using Code Ray, dance parties all day. Come on, baby. So everyone, today we are starting things off over in Brawl Stars. As you guys know, in this last update, a few smaller things were changed that really weren't brought up in the Brawl Talk, but one in particular really caught the eyes of a lot of people in the community, and that is some really cool animation changes to a few of 8-bit skins, such as the classic 8-bit and just the default skin 8-bit. And what's even more interesting, on the default 8-bit skin, people found out what this actual text is on his face very, very briefly, and people wrote it out for all of us to see. So hopping over to Reddit here from a user that we'll just call Luca, because I don't want to make a fool of myself this early on in the video. By the way, 1111, that's pretty OP. But here's a post of what is actually said on 8-bit Scream, and really the only thing that's super notable in this and that's bizarre is right away in the beginning. A problem has been detected and Windows has been shut down to prevent damage to your computer. If this is the first time you've seen this error screen, restart your computer if this screen appears again. Follow these steps, and so on and so forth. So the bizarre thing about this is that 8-bit is running on Windows, an arcade machine. Guys, arcade machines don't function as computers the last time I checked. So a lot of people were pointing this out, that it's extremely bizarre that 8-bit has Windows built into his actual programming. Now, I'm sure you all know this by now, but 8-bit has most definitely been the subject of theory crafting and mystery here in Brawl Stars, having a whole in-game mini-game dedicated to this guy, which is extremely cool. So being able to get something small like this added to his character so we can actually read it from this last update is pretty awesome. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this. If we get any further developments with this, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop, and it might be best if you guys keep your eyes open as well. So next, transitioning into probably the most juicy information of today's video. As you can see, Peach, a really good friend of mine here in the Brawl Stars community, tweeted out as well as informed me via DMs that this should appear in your next Brawl News episode, and I 100% agree. As you can see, he tweeted out, "So is no one going to talk about Brawl Stars 2.0? Not too long ago, around the time Challenger Cult was coming out, Brawl Stars sent out a survey for all of us to take, and one of the questions was insanely interesting. Question 2.4, how likely would you be to try a new mobile game set in the world of Brawl Stars? Extremely likely." I need to click that. So to break that down just a little bit further, we've seen this from Supercell in the past. For example, with Clash of Clans, the next spin-off game that used the intellectual property of Clash of Clans is Clash Royale, right? It had the archers, the barbarians, the really staple characters from Clash of Clans being implemented in a brand new game. And Brawl Stars is completely different in this respect because it has its own intellectual property, new characters, new things that are outside of the different games that we've already had for Supercell. So the way I'm seeing this personally is I couldn't see a new game like a Brawl Stars 2.0 coming out anytime soon. Brawl Stars is still relatively young, it's still doing fantastic, it's incredibly popular, so there's no necessity to push out a new game that has the Brawl Stars intellectual property. So hey, maybe somewhere down the line we'll be seeing something similar to the whole Clash of Clans to Clash Royale, maybe Brawl Stars being that like base game, so like Clash of Clans transitioning into something new that is using that IP. So hey, you never know. I'm definitely game for that. I love Supercell games. No matter what it is, I always give it a chance and try playing it. So if it has like the Brawl Stars characters in it, I am all for it. But make sure to let me know you guys are thinking about that. I'd be really interested to hear that. So with that interesting stuff out of the way, it is now time to get into our next bit of information that I thought was really important for you guys all to kind of take note of. As you guys know, in the first initial teaser that we got for this last Brawl Talk, we had a little Gale hat there, the Nutcracker Gale. So we all kind of assumed that Nutcracker Gale was going to be coming around the corner, right? It's probably the skin that makes the most sense to come in this update, right? We're in the middle of Brawl Days. Nutcracker Gale fits into that whole vibe. We also have season 4 adding a new character, the whole Snowtell family, which Gale is a part of, so it just would make sense to have this skin come out. But what's even more bizarre is we haven't had confirmation that Nutcracker Gale is coming out in this update. Nowhere is he found in the Brawl Talk, nowhere is he found in the patch notes to be coming here. And to take it even further here, this isn't the only reference that we've had of Nutcracker Gale being in the game. As you can see in the loading screen way in the back, as Mr. P is charging out of his hotel, we have Nutcracker Gale there hiding. Poor little guy just wants to stay out of the crazy crap going on outside of the hotel. So I found that incredibly interesting. We may be still getting something coming here in season 4 that wasn't really announced in the Brawl Talk or the patch notes. And the last bit of news that I want to kind of just shove in at the back end of this video today, just because it's kind of obvious, but I'd like to just make sure you guys are caught up in the loop and keeping up to date with the important things, and that is when season 4 is coming out, guys. This is probably the longest season that we've had or update before the actual Brawl Pass comes out with the new content. As you can see, we still have 7 days and 15 hours left here in season 3. So you guys can expect the rest of season 4 to be coming out this Monday. So mark your calendars. It's definitely kind of creeping up on us here. I feel like the last update, Brawloween, plus this little kind of pre-update before the rest of the content here for season 4, being able to get the map maker and the new environment, I feel like really has kind of satiated my hunger for updates here. It's like there's more still coming. That's insane. But yeah, just be sure to keep that in mind. But yeah, everyone, that's about it for today's video. There is one other thing that I'd like to kind of bring up here at the end of the video today, and that is a burning question I've been seeing popping up a lot as of recently, and that is, do I spend my gems here on season 4 or do I save my gems for season 5 of the Brawl Pass? There's a ton of free-to-play players that are that forward thinking, and I commend you. It's very, very tricky to be a free-to-play player here in Brawl Stars, and the way that I respond every single time is, do you enjoy the stuff that's here in season 4? Is it something that you would regret not getting? So Lou, being able to get him while he's still chromatic and not drop down a tier of rarity, right, to a mythic. Do you need the progression for your account ASAP? Do you want to get some gadgets or maybe star powers faster? If that's more important to you, I would say buy the Brawl Pass. But if you really just don't like the mechanics of Lou, or you don't really jive with much of the content coming out here in season 4, then save your gems. The next season might be even better, but that's very hard to tell because we don't know what's coming out in season 5, right? So it's really up in the air, but just ask yourself, do you like the stuff coming? I think that's the best way to go about it. But yeah, everyone, I think we'll wrap up today's video on that note. Make sure to let me know what you're thinking about all the interesting news that we covered in today's video. I think there's a lot of awesome stuff on the horizon. But with that being said, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really, really appreciate that. And yeah, with that being said, keep having fun with Brawl Stars. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.